Welcome to the Easy Show.
You know what I-
Hello, guys. Hope you're doing well today. Another episode.
Yeah.
So, what we talking about today, Mo?
Today is New Year's Eve.
New Year's. Hope everyone has a good New Year too, and I'm glad you made it into the new year.
Yeah. What's your New Year's resolution? Do you have any?
Yeah. Really just be more consistent in everything, content creating wise. I feel like I gotta fully let go more.
We were like talking about how much you should post,
hmm
like on your personal pages
Yeah.
or your other platforms. And I was saying that I seen other content creators say you're supposed to post every single day. And you said, what did you say?
I was basically saying like I don't like posting every single day because people take advantage of like your energy.
What you
And
mean? What does that mean? Take advantage.
basically like when you're always in people's face and you like always in people's feed or just in general, when you give too much energy or give too much to someone, they're gonna like take it for granted. So I feel like when you give too much to people in general, they naturally take it for granted and it just becomes a habit.
So you think you feel the same way even with content creation?
Yeah, that's how I feel with content creation. But I feel like it's a part of it. I really feel like content creation is the biggest thing is getting people outside of you who don't know you. Because those are the people who support you the most. And I feel like when I'm posting frequently, like all the time, it just shows me how fake people are if I'm being too like for real.
Okay, so you do understand that the content you make and post, you're not doing that for people you know, right?
I know I'm not doing it for them, but I guess it just makes me like question everything in a sense. Like, why are
Yeah.
these people even in my life? You feel
Okay.
me?
So I mean, I can understand that perspective. I mean, I'm not a content creator, but I do, I love TikTok. So,
hmm
and there's only one person that um I mean, I like a few content creators that, I'll watch their stuff.
hmm
But there's one she posts 5, 6, 7 times a day. I'm gonna watch everything she posts.
Yeah.
Like I just like her content that much.
hmm
Um, so I understand why you think, you shouldn't post too much. But for the reason why you post consistently every day is because you increase the opportunity of connecting with those people who are gonna follow you.
hmm
So there are going to be people out there that connect with you and relate to you. And when you find those people, they're not going to get tired of you.
Yeah.
They're not going to take it for
That's
granted.
what I'm
They're going to
saying.
watch every single thing you post.
Yeah, like the people who don't know you support you more, like support you, like they
Yeah.
support you the biggest. So
Well,
like,
yeah, that's how it goes.
hmm but I do understand that like not everyone's supposed to support you. Like everyone got their own lives. Like you're not the main character in everyone's life. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I understand that. I will say, like, I don't even follow your content. I
hmm
don't watch your content. I'm your mom.
I feel like,
But listen, I'm your biggest supporter.
hmm
But I'm not gonna watch I have
hmm
I mean, it's been a long time. I
hmm
watched some of your old stuff, but am I gonna faithfully watch your stuff? No, it's not for me.
yeah,
So think of it like that. There's categories of people. There's going to be those people that know you in real life, like I mean, in person. They've met you in person
hmm
and they're going to support you. They're going to watch your content. They're not going to get tired of you. They're not going to take it for granted. And then you have people who know you, who support you, want to see you do well, but they're not necessarily going to watch your content.
hmm
That doesn't mean that they don't support you. It's just not for them. Then you have people who know you. They're going to watch you just to see you mess up.
hmm
They're going to watch you see you fail. Those are like the haters. You're like a reminder to them that they should be doing more.
hmm
Maybe they don't feel like they're doing enough with themselves, or they wish they could do what you're doing
hmm
and they don't have the courage to do or whatever. So they secretly don't want to see you succeed.
No, that's how it be. I feel like in our generation, like our generation, Gen Z, is so much competition. So I feel like everyone's just in competition, but I feel like I'm not trying to compete with no one. I'm literally just like doing my own thing because I enjoy it. But I feel like people just see everything as competition. People would purposely try to gatekeep you just because they're in competition. But I feel like I don't know.
Well, that's why you post a lot.
Mhm.
Until you build up your audience, you post a lot because then you don't have to worry about if somebody's gatekeeping you.
Mhm.
You want to, like I said, create those opportunities for those people who don't know you, who are going to relate to you, connect with everything you say, and then they're going to loyally follow you. And, you know, it is going to be the people who don't know you in real life that
Mhm.
are going to be die-hard supporters. So you see these content creators, you know how the internet's finicky.
Yeah.
People will turn on you soon as you say something or do something, they be ready to counsel you. But then, content creators have those loyal followers. They can't do any wrong. They're going to follow them no matter what they do.
Yeah.
So those are the people you're trying to connect with, you're trying to influence, you're trying to be a positive, something positive they see, hopefully something positive.
Mhm.
But those are the people, those are who you're making the content for. You're not making content for people who know you.
Yeah.
So even with this podcast, like, I mean, it's the same.
It's just really whoever it gravitates
Yeah, the
towards.
people who
Yeah.
know you they're going to support you from the get-go. The people who are going to watch you and support you, they're going to do that from the beginning. You're not going to convince them. If they don't already do that from the beginning,
Mhm.
there's nothing you can say or do to convince them. They
Mhm.
either do or don't. Those are not the people you focus on.
Mhm.
If they support you, great, that's wonderful. Even if they get something out of it or you help them in some kind of way, influence them in some kind of way, that's great and awesome. But those are not your target audience, those
Yeah.
people, because they're either going to be there or they're not when they know you. So like even it's going to be hard for me to ever do any kind of podcast and not bring up Jesus or God at some point.
Mhm.
But even Jesus, he didn't do a lot of miracles where he was born and raised, because of their lack of faith,
Mhm.
and they just knew Jesus. They're like, man, we knew you when you was a baby, or
Yeah.
they just have a maybe
They think they know you of like what they already seen of
right,
you and
like
stuff.
it's
Yeah.
a biased viewpoint, and that's not necessarily wrong. I think that's a normal thing to
But I don't
kind
be looking
of.
at people like that. I just be like,
Yeah, because I mean, something new could be happening in your life where people
mhm.
grow and change and develop, but it is hard to separate somebody's past from what they're doing. And I shouldn't say it's hard to separate it, but I mean, people are not just going to forget everything they know about you and
Mhm.
look at you from this point on and just focus on that. Say you're trying to influence people to stop smoking,
Mhm.
and then there's people who knew when you smoked. They're all every time you bring up that smoking thing, they're gonna be like, "Well, I remember when he used to smoke."
Yeah.
So it kind of is, even though you're not being a hypocrite, if you truly stopped and you're trying to help people, or even if you're just working to quit or whatever, there's going to be those people who remember what you used to do,
Mhm.
and they're going to use that
They're just gonna
and
question you
and hold
basically.
yeah, and hold it against you, or either question if it's real.
Not everybody that know me, it's not like they don't support me because there's people who do
Oh yeah,
support
I
me.
know, but I'm saying you don't have to convince those people. They're
Yeah.
already supporting you.
Mhm.
So that's why they're not your focus. And they know you in real life. If they get something from what you do, they do.
Mhm.
But you didn't have to beg for their support. You don't
Yeah.
have to beg people to support you.
I don't ever do that though. I don't ever be like,
So don't ever water yourself down
mhm.
or say, "Oh well, I'm not going to post so much because I don't want people to either get tired of me or
Mhm.
take me for granted." No, you think about all the people on the planet and all the people who don't know you.
Mhm.
And every time you post, it's going to reach somebody who doesn't know you.
Yeah.
So you can't post too much.
Yeah.
The people who are going to be there are going to be there, and the people who are not, they're
And the
not.
crazy thing about our generation too is like I don't know, like you could see like if someone has traction, then that's when they're gonna start trying to like comment like or just be involved in what you got doing. But
Hmm.
then as soon as they see it's not really successful,
They
then that's when
fall
they
off.
really back off. And that's what I hate because I just feel like it's so I feel like our generation just is
That's
lame
It's
in a
not your
sense.
generation. That's
But it's like really bad with ours the worst because of social media though. Like it's always been a thing, but social media just makes it worse in our generation.
well, I mean, exposure. The more exposure can,
Mhm.
I don't know if it makes it worse. I think it just puts it on in spotlight more.
Yeah.
But there's really no need for. I mean, people are competitive, And sometimes being competitive, depending on what you're talking about, could be a good thing. But
Mhm.
when it comes to influencing and content creation, there's literally nobody on this planet that can be you
Mhm.
or anybody else. Everybody can only be them. So if you think about it that way, like there's no need to compete.
Mhm.
There's enough people on the planet for you to have your following, and you have those people that connect with you, and somebody else can be doing exactly what you're doing, but they have their own personality and spin on it. So you really don't, I mean, there's no need to compete in anything. But what I learned, and remember when we had the wreck?
Direct. Oh yeah, yeah.
So it was probably the first time, even though I kind of knew, I had an idea that the people who you think going to be there are usually not, and it's the
Mhm.
people who you have no clue are going to show up that show up for you.
Mhm.
So when we had that wreck, like that was the biggest eye opener for me, because there was people who I thought would be there to check on me, check on us. We had a
Yeah.
lot going on during that time, like with moving and all that, and me being injured. That they just weren't there. But then I remember getting a check in the mail from somebody I knew, but never didn't have like a close relationship, never talked on the phone to this person, never really sat
Mhm.
down and had a one-on-one conversation with this person. We just knew each other, and they sent me a check in the mail, and I never in a million years would have thought that this person would like be supportive like
Mhm.
that. So when the people who you think are going to be there are not showing up,
Nah,
don't
that's how I
worry.
use.
God gonna send the people who that you need to support you.
I feel like I figured that out quick because I've been content creating for a long time. So I feel like I've been over like all that stuff. It's just really me being more consistent and living like fully in like content creating, as in like not holding myself back from doing anything like within it, like towards my interests. I feel like so. But I think the only battle I really been having is really just not trying to be in people's face too much. Cause me, I like, but
Go
it's just
hard, grind
like I
hard, be
could
in
be
their
going,
face every single day.
I could be going harder, but it's just like,
Like I said, that the woman I follow, or yeah, I follow her. I don't like see her stuff when she posts it,
yeah,
but at least once a day, I'm gonna go check to see what she posts, because she posts multiple times a day. I watch now. I'm not so loyal that I've went back, 'cause she's been content creating for years now. I haven't. I'm not so loyal that I have went back and watched all her old stuff,
yeah,
but when I discover her moving forward, like I watch I will not get tired of this lady. I
hmm
will watch every single
that's
thing
how I
she
am
posts.
with my
And I
favorite content
disagree with a
creators.
lot she says and does. Like I mean it's not me. Um
But it's like you like her personality so
I
much,
like that
yeah,
she is so vulnerable and so real and raw, and I think she's a courageous person because she doesn't try to be aesthetically pleasing and try to make things look
like,
a certain way. Like she's just her,
hmm
and she doesn't do like contracts. She's had offers for shows. She's had all this stuff. She doesn't do it for none of that.
yeah,
So, but and she's just funny to me. She's like so entertaining. So
yeah.
she can post 20 times a day. I might not watch all 20 of those videos in that day, but I'm going to make sure I
You,
don't
that's
miss
how I
anything.
am. That's how I am with my favorite content creators.
And she's like the only person that like I like her content like that. So what I'm telling you is the loyal ones, the ones that's not going to turn on you when you do something wrong, because you will say something wrong, you'll do something wrong, maybe even have to apologize for some things. Those loyal followers, the people who really connect with you, they gonna still be there to support you.
Yeah,
But always make things right. If you
hmm
say something wrong, do something wrong. Um, don't I know you have no problem with apologizing when you.
when I'm wrong, yeah. If I feel like I'm right, I'm not probably gonna apologize. But I feel like I always try to look from, even if I feel like I'm right, I may apologize because like I still see from your perspective, and there's a
Yeah.
misunderstanding. So,
There's a lot of times when I just want to make things right with people. So
hmm
even if I feel like I didn't do anything wrong, I'll still acknowledge how I made them feel.
hmm
Um, because we're not always going to understand where somebody's, why their feelings was hurt or why they were offended. But everybody's allowed to. You can't tell somebody how to feel.
yeah,
Um, everybody's entitled to their feelings, whether they're wrong or right. I mean, so. Just
Yeah, well, this year I just know like it's just consistency because I've been better with being consistent, but it's really like you gotta live in it. Like you really gotta live it for real. And you
yeah.
gotta do it no matter what.
Think about how many people on the planet you need to reach. You
Hmm.
said you want to.
I
You told the team
am.
you want to
I
influence
am.
millions. You ain't gonna do that posting every other day.
I mean, it's still. I feel like at the end of the day, if I know I'm working as hard as I can, I know. Like I don't know. It's just like
I will
I
put.
don't feel the need like to be in people's face, but at the same time, I don't want to. Like I feel like if I'm being consistent enough, because I feel like every other day is still consistent.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
but every day is like really like the consistency for real.
Yeah. Just as long as you're doing it when you feel that you should be doing it.
Hmm.
So if you feel like, "Oh, I really want to make this content or I really want to post this content," do it. Okay?
I feel.
Don't worry about what somebody else is going to think about it.
Hmm.
So don't if you don't feel like posting every day, don't force yourself to do that if
Hmm.
that's not what you feel. But if you feel it and you really have some content you want to create or post, do it.
Hmm. Lately, I just been really hesitant towards it because like the holidays,
And yeah, don't worry
because so
about
like
that.
people have been busy, so I
But
really just
that's
been
the
chilling
thing,
lately.
you don't know what people are doing, so
Mom, I'm
this
telling you, it's gonna be New Year's. Like we're 23, 24 year olds. Like people is turning up.
I
You
get what
feel
you're
me? Like,
saying, but I feel like you do that a lot.
mhm,
And sometimes it's not sometimes it can be pessimistic
mhm,
because you make assumptions about what people are thinking or what people are doing. You
mhm,
Not everybody has there's a whole lot of people in this world that were lonely for the holidays that didn't have anything to do
mhm.
but be on social media, or maybe that's not the only thing they could have done, but that's the only thing they wanted to do. So
Yeah.
don't think, I mean, I get why you say that because people are tend to be busy, but there's a whole lot of people out there who would still wanna see you during that time.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't be thinking of it like that. I just be thinking of it
I
like people with
know.
they, cause I would just be thinking people with their family or this the holidays they doing something. But I guess I don't think of the people who aren't doing it. So I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, focus on what you wanna do, what you wanna put out there, and don't overthink, um, that part of it, trying to
Mhm,
figure out, what other people are doing or thinking. You just do what you're supposed to do.
mhm.
And I would say, pray. I always tell y'all,
Pray.
God
You
first
can mention
because
God on here. Like people get mad. You mention God or
I'm not
Jesus.
I'm not saying that I'm trying to keep people from being mad. I'm not worried about offending people like that. Like my thoughts and feelings, I do care more about offending people because they're my own thoughts and feelings because people can think and feel what they want. They don't have to subscribe to what
Mhm,
I think and feel. So in that regard, like I don't mean to offend people. But when I talk about God and I talk about what the Bible says, I mean, it is what it is. It's
yeah.
not thoughts or feelings. It's fact. I believe it's fact. So if they get offended by that and they just do. I mean, no matter what you do, somebody's gonna have something to say.
Yeah.
So does it bother you though that you feel like
No, because I told you I've been doing this for so long. Like when I first did the YouTube, that's what I experienced. Like realizing how many people don't support me.
mhm,
Like I was just finna make a video on it, but I haven't made it yet. I gotta make it. Like,
mhm,
but it's really the key thing is like being yourself, being consistent in the work. Then it's getting over the honeymoon phase. Cause you feel me? Everybody supports you and all that and loves your stuff at first. And then you gotta get over the honeymoon phase. So like when all those people go away, and then you're just left with the people who really like truly support you.
you gotta
So
still
you gotta
stay
just
committed? Yeah,
yeah. So it's like being like staying committed to that and really showing gratitude and being grateful.
yeah,
That's what it is. And letting like your supporters know like thank you. I really appreciate it. Show gratitude towards them. And then it's just mainly that overcoming the likes and views and stuff too. Because like at the end of the day, like I feel like you want yourself to be balanced. Because I feel like it's easy to let all that get to your head, you know.
mm, yeah,
And I just feel like your ego always needs to be balanced. Like if you're content creating, I feel like when people start getting like certain attention and stuff,
they
like
get
they just
focused on like the likes and views and
yeah, and
stuff.
then like yeah, and like that's it. And then like the last thing is really just getting over the pressure. Because really,
Yeah,
really, it's just battling yourself the whole time. Like I don't like I've people been not supporting me or like people have been supporting me. I don't want to make it seem like that, but people like haven't been supporting me, or this has been a thing for a while, so it's just like nothing new to me. It's
Yeah.
just me battling myself.
Yeah.
That's what I gotta get over. It's not other people or what they think. That's why most people don't take like the step to do anything because of that. For real, it's judgment and perception. That's like I
Yeah.
feel like that's the main thing why people don't do anything, because they may think they're corny or me like maybe scared to be themselves or try something different. So like most people just try to fit in or go with what's popular, or like what's gonna gain traction, or just anything that's gonna make them seem cool instead of just fully being themselves.
Yeah.
So that's what I figured out a lot about this. But with me, it's just more of being consistent, posting any type of content I like, because I don't know what's gonna gravitate towards people, or and really being innovative, because I feel like if you're always bringing something new to the table, then
Mhm.
like you're gonna win,
I don't like being in the public
like
eye.
flying under the radar.
Yeah, and that's just because it's for me, it's not I'm not really worried about what people think of me or, what people are gonna say. It's not so much that. My mind is always just, like, on the spiritual aspect
Mhm.
and just knowing that things you can be things that you say can be used against you.
Yeah.
And when you put it out there, especially when you're thinking about the enemy and how he's out to kill, steal, and destroy, and he don't know your thoughts. But I think that the things you say and do can be used as weapons against you.
Yeah.
And so I'm just very leery about being in the public eye, especially when I am vulnerable. Because, like, on my Facebook and like other thing, like when I had blogs and stuff, I did share a lot of personal things.
Yeah.
Um, and that it's hard to be vulnerable. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? But it's for me, it's not so much what people think of me. It's about just protecting myself spiritually
Yeah.
and knowing that when I give people that information, it can be used against me. And like, I ain't trying to fight no harder than I have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you got enough against us in the world. So
I feel like you can be vulnerable, but like up to a certain point. When people see you're vulnerable too much, I feel like they just take advantage of it or know what to use against you, like you said. So it's just like I feel like there has to be a balance in that too.
yeah, I witness it. Even though I don't have a presence on social media like that, like
Mm.
especially in a public where anybody can see what I post. But I watch and I see how ruthless people can be.
Mhm.
And we were talking about it not long ago how those people, those haters that are following you and watching you,
Mhm.
how they look for anything to use against you, and they won't stop until they find a button to push
Mhm.
and to get under your skin or to get to you. And then once they realize what that weakness is, then they just go at it hard. So you
Yeah.
really got to protect yourself, protect your mind, pray a lot.
I
You
feel
here
like
for a purpose.
yeah.
So,
But I feel like you said, you do gotta pray a lot, because everyone's energy towards you through like the phone screen or like thoughts or perception, like that can like play a role on you in like real life. Cause
yeah,
it's
I
real,
can.
it's all energy in a
Yeah.
sense. You feel me? It's like spiritual kinda.
Yeah,
So
we don't fight against flesh and blood, it's powers and principalities. So,
mhm.
beat
Like
it.
I said, everything is like literally balanced. So it's just like you gonna go in there and see people saying crazy stuff about
What
you.
if you see some comments and somebody for this for instance, what if
Mhm.
somebody started commenting they was talking about your mama? You wouldn't be
I
phased by
couldn't take
that?
them serious, cause like I don't know, cause like I see it, everything is like some people be serious, but I feel like that's like the very small percent of people in the world. But I feel like for the most part, people just be trolling.
But you wouldn't get mad. You wouldn't let that
No,
get to you. Okay.
no.
That's good. I don't want you to let anything get to you.
Mhm.
I want you to be so mentally strong and so confident in yourself, so confident in your purpose and what God has for you
Mhm.
that you don't let anybody, especially with just some words they say, no matter what it is, that they make you do something crazy or even feel negative about yourself. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I think you should focus on the editing thing more.
Mhm.
Like making that a business because You are very good at editing, and even though you for this you don't, I mean, that we just cut
Yeah.
out things just to make it shorter or whatever, so you don't really do no true editing on this. It's
Mhm.
just a little bit, but even the little you do on here, it would probably take me like 3 times as long. You like
Yeah.
do something in 2 seconds,
Yeah. I
but your
be.
other stuff that I've seen that you've edited, you're really good at editing.
That I low key been like that since like 13 though. I'm not gonna lie.
What editing?
Yeah, like that's when I really found out I was good at editing. Like I had downloaded Musically. That used to be TikTok, right? And I was like
I
trying
think
to
so.
edit it. I was trying to edit some video on there. And I was like, I'm really good at this. It's just like I already know what I want to do. Like after I see it or hear something, all I gotta do is look at the video and I know like what I want to do for it. Like easily.
Yeah. And that could be, I mean, for you it'd be easier, and then of course not everybody's going to want their stuff edited the same way,
Yeah.
but I am sure that you could you could have a group of people that like the way you edit, your
Mhm.
editing style, and would pay you to
Yeah.
do that for them because you are really good at it.
The only thing that gets me with that is like balancing their content and then like
I
mine.
know,
So
because
it's
you
just
didn't
like
want to record today. You so focused on your own, which is fine. I mean, I don't even know how long this thing's gonna last.
mhm.
So, because I do want, I know this is just like a little extension of, I know you have your content. You want to be a content creator and
Mhm.
an influencer, and so I want you to focus on your own stuff. I like what you said the other day. You were like, "I'm glad we're doing this because when I get 80, I can
You look back on it.
looking back and watch it." And
Yeah, I
I
feel like
never thought about that because I'll be dead and
that's
gone.
what I really thought about it. Like,
It's like a
'cause you know
time
how much I
capsule.
love you. So like when you gone, like it's gonna be sad. Like I can't watch or see nothing of you. So like at least I have something I can look back on.
Yeah, or
A
maybe,
lot of
you
videos.
can look, maybe I'll say something that might help you or something. Or you
Mhm.
look, maybe you're going through something, you can look
Or it
back
could
and be
help
like,
my
"Oh, I remember
grandchildren
that."
or my kids. You never know.
Yeah.
See.
Cuz I know a lot of stuff, even with me, I can hear things and learn them, but
Mhm.
sometimes they're just deposited in you and you don't even realize that you're going to need it 10 years from now,
Yeah.
and so it's already in you. So it's one of those things like, yeah, you could look back one day and watch.
Mhm.
Maybe I can say something. You
I
can
feel like
see and hear me saying something that's going to help you.
I feel like we should have good expectation towards it, but I feel like you said, we shouldn't worry about it. Like we should just post, and whoever watches it,
Watches
whoever
it, yeah.
if they just
Well,
watch it and
Kay's
they
little
like it.
friend, she likes it. She's
Yeah, that kind of
like,
surprised me. I didn't think anyone like her
and
age.
that's why I told you, don't try to make those pessimistic assumptions that
Mhm.
because you do not know. You do not know. And there's a lot of silent watchers, a lot of people who will never give you acknowledgement, never tell you they're watching it, but they watch you
Mhm.
and you're helping them in some way. So, I mean, she's young. She's Caitlin's age, and
She's 18. That's crazy. I'm like, I'm thinking their like generation just. You know how I already
crazy.
feel about
That's why I
them.
say don't try to figure it out. Just do what you know you're supposed to do
Mhm.
and let God take care of the rest. You do your part. Don't try to figure out how he's going to use what you're doing. Just do what you're supposed to
I
do.
think that's my a problem I have, is I always feel like I gotta be in control.
Oh yeah.
Like that's why I wouldn't hang out with people and stuff like in college, because I feel like, dang, I can't just go in a pantry and get whatever, or I can't like I don't know. I just feel like when you're with people, like I have a
You
control
want to be
problem.
the leader.
Yeah, I
Your
just want.
teachers used to tell me that. I had a few of your teachers tell me that you were a natural born leader. You
Mhm.
marched to the beat of your own drum.
Mhm.
One teacher was like, "It doesn't matter who I sit him beside. He's going to
Oh
make
yeah,
friends and talk to
that's a
them, and
fact.
he's going to," she said, he can take control of the whole classroom away from me. I think it
Sixth
was at
grade.
Northside. I don't remember, but they said that you were a natural leader and you could take control of the classroom from them. So
But I feel like that's really true. Like you could put me like I'm not gonna lie. If everyone in school thought like I was sitting beside the lamest kid ever, like I could like make friends with the lamest kid ever, and we'd be over there being buck wild, having a good time. Now the lamest kid ever in trouble. He don't ever get in trouble. He in trouble because of me.
well,
So
that means that you do have influence, but we need to make sure, you need to make sure that, you're influencing people in the right way,
yeah,
positive light.
yeah, because it's easy to influence
Um,
someone. I mean, if I was, it would be easier if I was like a bad influencer, because it's so like easy. I feel like it's so much
yeah.
easier to influence people like through a bad way.
That's very true. When you try to like, especially when it comes to talking about God,
Hmm.
you're not gonna have that crowd like you would if you were had a gossip show, you
Hmm.
know. And but oh well, that's how it is.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. So
But yeah, thank you for that. I feel like I needed to hear that, but I'm good. Like it's not that I can't do it. It's just that I gotta just hold myself more accountable and post more.
yeah,
I mean, I'm still posting a good enough, but like
even when we're
I
good
just be
with it.
taking a step back sometimes, like and
Yeah.
just like I feel like I be overthinking. Like I be evaluating stuff, but I feel like
Hmm.
I do be overthinking. Like I
Yeah.
just gotta go.
And even though we're good on things or we know certain things, we can still get to points where we need encouragement. We need reminders.
Hmm.
Doesn't matter how good you get at something. Um, you can grow stagnant. I can say things to you that you've already heard or that I've already said. Like sometimes we just need encouragement. All of us. I do. I know I do. I
Hmm.
still need to hear things that I know. That's why I go to church on Sunday. I still need that encouragement, that reminder, that push, that
Hmm.
motivation, So, yep, that's what I'm here for.
Thank you, Mom. I appreciate it. But
You're
yeah,
welcome.
that's a part of the content creating process too. Like you're gonna have like ups and downs. So you're gonna have times where doubt gonna creep in, but you cannot like let it fully overtake you. Cause like once it does, it's like really hard to recover from it.
Motivate yourself.
Yeah.
Say positive affirmations every day.
Hmm.
Think, think positive.
Yeah.
You know.
Thank you for tapping into this episode to the Easy Podcast. I love you,
I
Mom.
love you too.